My name is Lina Mugammar. I am a recent graduate from Osgoode Hall Law School, and I am currently doing my articling term at Castles. I immigrated to Canada in 2001 from the United Arab Emirates. When I first arrived in Canada, there was definitely a big adjustment. I think that it helps having known English beforehand and having learned it when I was in UAE. But at the same time, having an accent and being a newcomer, you face challenges because you don't understand certain little cultural cues that everybody knows. And also schools kind of work a little bit differently in Canada, so that was definitely an adjustment for me. It definitely had an impact because you kind of start to seek people that have similar lived experiences to you. So a lot of my friends early on were also immigrants and newcomers. We did really support each other, kind of try to figure out where we fit in, understand the new cultural landscape that we were in. My relationship with my family was definitely impacted because you kind of have to deal with competing expectations. The expectations of your family to adhere to your culture, but at the same time, you're also dealing with the expectations of the new country that you're trying to fit into. Just reconciling those two worlds and understanding that you don't 100% fit into either one, and making your own place sort of in between them and just being okay with that. In high school, I did a lot of customer service jobs. Are really beneficial. I think everyone should have a customer service job at least once in their life. Not only do they teach you how to treat other people, but they also teach you how to communicate with all kinds of people, because you're dealing with people from all walks of life that have all kinds of lived experiences. But I've definitely worked a lot of jobs. I worked at the farmer's market, I was a makeup artist for a while. So I think that when you're young, you're in high school, you're not really at that point where you're making any finite decisions about your career. I think it's a really good time to try different things. So if you have the opportunity to get a part-time job, do something interesting, fun, earn a little bit of money, and don't take it too seriously, because even if it's completely unrelated to what you end up doing later in life, it will teach you skills that are applicable. At least that was the case for me. Yeah, it's definitely a challenging time being 18 years old and being told that you have to figure out what you want to do, and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. I've never done anything before. After high school, I actually did go right into university. I don't think that would have been my choice if it was completely up to me, but I come from a culture that really values education, and my parents were dead set on me going to university immediately. They wanted me to be in the sciences, so I did that, and because it wasn't the right fit for me and the right time for me, I actually didn't end up staying in university. I dropped out for a few years and ended up returning later on, but I think that even just having that brief time in university right after high school, it was a valuable learning experience, and I don't really have regrets about it. But at the same time, it kind of showed me that not everybody has a linear path to where they want to get to. And sometimes it's okay to kind of take a pause and figure out what you want to do and then come back to what you're doing. And in that time, I worked all kinds of jobs, from retail to doing freelance art. I just kind of tried everything. And I wasn't really finding anything that spoke to me or anything that I felt like I could do forever or as a career. Even though those experiences were really meaningful, they weren't it. So I started working at a law firm as a legal assistant. My sister actually helped me get that job. And it was my first time stepping foot in a law firm. And I really enjoyed the work and the subject matter. At that point, I didn't think that it was a possibility for me to become a lawyer, because I still had a lot of shame and guilt about leaving university and feeling really directionless. After that, I got another job working as a clerk in a firm, and that kind of has more hands-on, less administrative work. So I got to see more of the type of work that a lawyer would do. At that point, I kind of started thinking to myself, what would it take for me to be a lawyer. Kind of started working through a little bit of the complex feelings I had about leaving school. When I started looking into it, I contacted my university and got re-enrolled. At the time, I was working full-time. I was studying for the LSAT and I was finishing my degree at the University of Waterloo. It was definitely a lot to take on, but it was worth it because it led to me going to law school and really feeling like I knew what I wanted to do. I think it was the first time in my life that I felt like this is what I want to do. I had a goal in mind and I was working towards it. So now I'm working at Castle, which is a full-service firm in Toronto, and I'm working through my articling term, which is basically an apprenticeship that you do at the end of law school to prepare you for becoming a lawyer. So I'm not quite a lawyer yet, but I'm almost there. Yeah, so I'm working on all kinds of different files and just seeing learning what it's like to become a lawyer. I think about if I had the opportunity to meet my younger self, 10 years old, brand new in Canada, I don't think she would believe that I am where I am today, because even at that age, I really saw a lot of obstacles. It's hard to be in a new place and really envision yourself thriving there when you do have to face so many obstacles. At the end of the day, things will work out, and you just have to give yourself time and permission to, stray from the past, try different things, mess up, take a break, come back, stop, do whatever you need to do to figure it out, because everyone has their own journey, and no matter what anybody tells you, no two journeys are the same.